joining us on the show.
Thank you, Azar. It's very nice that you asked me to be here.
What brought you to it all? I mean, what made you think about looking into something like sound therapy?
I have always wanted to do some sort of energetic healing. So many years ago, I learned all the different meditations. I did my Reiki training. I did crystal courses. I did all sorts of things, muscle testing, and nothing really gelled with me. But I knew that I wanted to help people. So then at some stage, Pilates just popped up and everything fell into place. I found an amazing trainer, amazing course. We trained in South Africa through an English body. And it just took off really, really quickly. And suddenly about 4 years after, I said, oh my goodness, I've always been told I'm going to be a teacher and a healer. And I just never thought I would. And guess what I'm doing?
Right.
I'm like teaching and I'm healing at the same time, because your Pilates clients, you see how you help their posture and their backs and relieve their pain and stuff. So I thought, well, there you go. That's what I'm meant to be doing. So 13 years on, I suddenly get this, about a couple of years ago, so 12 years, and I get this little itch and this little nerve. Yes, I'm doing the physical, but I really feel like I want to do the energetic as well. Right. So I then went on to like a journey, and I did a whole lot of things, and I was told that I'm, meant to be a energetic healer. So again, right? So I thought, well, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I was in Egypt on a meditation course, and we were at the Sphinx, and we were meditating between the paws of the Sphinx. And suddenly I just heard this voice. It's like, you have this message. You've got to use your voice. You've got to sing. You've got to tone. And I thought, oh my goodness, that is a message. That's what I'm going to do. So I started Googling and what courses were available, and it was either going to be breathing or it was going to be sound, the voice and the sound. And these two people, he's actually South African and she's English, and they live in Spain. So this course popped up and they were amazing. So I booked it. I went there, got out just before COVID hit. There were already people wearing masks on the aeroplane. And it's been wonderful. It's been really, really, really great. And it's, came back here, obviously went straight back into the Pilates. Lockdown happened, and it's taken a while now for people to feel safe enough to come for a one-on-one. And I enjoy it. So I'm really lucky. I feel I've got the helping people physically, and I'm going to be starting the helping people energetically.
We'll talk about the Pilates in a second, but I just want to stay a little bit on the energy healing or energy therapy that you talked about just now. For people who have never heard of this before, what exactly is energy healing?
Well, it's your body has an energetic field that it emits, your aura, and you have your physical, you have your emotional, you have your mental body. So you have your physical body, and then the energy moves out from your physical cells and into the area around you. So it's often that area that needs to be helped, healed, balanced. Basically, I think it's a lot about balancing, as well as the physical.
Okay. So how do you know you need energy healing?
It's most people will say, okay, right, I need physical healing. My back is sore, my legs are sore, my knees hurting. So a lot of people won't realize that they need energy healing unless they know about it, unless they've read about it, they have spoken to a friend about it. So that's another interesting thing, is it's going to come into your life when you need it, I presume. That's what I think.
Well, they say that energy does move around where it's needed the most, right? Because I asked specifically for myself, okay, and because I'm thinking to myself that there is a time where I thought to myself, I'm feeling a little low on energy. There are times when I feel like I'm low on energy and that I need it to be uplifted and things like that. Is that the time that I would come to you and say, well, my energies don't feel right. Can you have a look at me and tell me what's going on?
Yeah, you can come and you can say like, and you know what, I might pick up that you're very low in a certain part of your body, a certain organ, or your, you know, and that's when it says, you're right, when you're feeling low like that and you're feeling out of sorts, out of balance,
Right.
and you're obviously aware of energy, but someone else will say, okay, now I need to go for a massage,
Right.
which does amazing things as well because it's working on the physical. So there's
Sure.
so many different healing modalities
Right.
that one can use to rebalance your system.
Okay.
Lots and lots.
And obviously, this ties in quite nicely with the Reiki healing that you do, because Reiki is a form of healing too. Am I correct?
Yeah, Reiki is a form of healing.
I mean, a form
You're
of
connecting.
energy healing, right?
It's a form of energy healing, yeah. So it's different to sound because Reiki, you're taught to put your hands into when you do the course. I did my course a long time ago, and I've just had a revamp basically recently. So you're taught to put your hands in different positions.
Right.
So on different energy fields, energy aspects of the body, the chakras and the joints and things like that. And it is another form of energy healing, is the Reiki.
Explain to someone who's never had something like this done, because I mean, to the visual eye, it's somebody basically just pushing their hands, not touching, but over you. What is the sensations that somebody feels when you're getting a Reiki
Getting
heal?
a Reiki treatment. They can feel tingling, they can feel the heat coming out of your hands, they can feel cold, they can feel. I've had a client who felt like a swirling type of feeling. She didn't really know how to explain it.
Right.
Um, Relaxation. And sometimes I think also when you get into certain spots that need clearing, it can feel uncomfortable as well. It can feel like, oh, this doesn't feel like it's comfortable to have this person working on this spot. Doesn't happen that often, but that's what can happen too. That can also happen with the sound, is you can use an instrument, you can use a Tibetan bowl, or you can use a bell of some sort or a flute, and that person goes, oh, I don't like that. So I'll always tell the client, so if there's any sound that you don't like, you need to tell me and we need to work through it to see, okay, so what don't I like about that sound, and how can I work on it? So you have the good feeling, you have the uncomfortable feelings as well that come through
Okay.
with energy healing.
And how long does a session take?
Okay, so a sound session will, or if I do a Reiki session, and sometimes I combine the two. Obviously, you can work with both. So
Hmm.
it's about an hour. If a client needs more, then obviously you figure it out that they're going to need more.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Okay. The reason why I'm asking is I know that a lot of people who are listening here today are probably gonna want to know, well, how long does it take and when, you know,
yeah.
yeah. And I guess it's a package that they're looking at. You're not just walking in to come and see you, and you're not just gonna, look at them and say, okay, I see your aura and I see your energy and let's talk about it. They've got to actually contribute in some way. And
Yeah,
yeah, how
yeah.
does
They
that work?
can.
Talk us through that.
Yeah, you would sit them down and you would speak to them and say, so, have you got any, if I'm doing a sound healing, have you got any aches or pains? Have you come for a specific reason? I had a client come in, and at some stage I just put my bowls underneath the bed, and I started playing the bowls underneath the bed, and she said afterwards, she said, oh, that was amazing. I've had a sore back when I came in, which she didn't tell me, and she could feel the vibrations coming up through the bed releasing her back a little bit. So you can work on certain places. You use the tuning forks. If a client has got a really sore knee,
Mhm.
you can work the tuning forks around the knee joint, or so you work with the client. You sit them down and you go through what issue they've come for. If they're just interested, then you just do a general balancing sort of setup first. But if the clients come in with an issue, you're going to concentrate on that issue
Sure.
during part of it.
Does this help with sort of like, gym injuries and things like that? Like sometimes, you get a shoulder injury.
Yeah, it
Is it?
could. It very
Yeah.
well could, because you would work with the tuning fork here, but then you can also come to Pilates, you see, and work through different
Ah,
things.
right, okay. Well, let's talk about Pilates. This is what really got us interested in speaking to you in the first place, and then we discovered that you're so much more than Pilates. But give us an idea of your journey to where you are today and how Pilates has integrated with it, and a little bit about what, because I had no idea what, for me, Pilates was all about stretching, and it's certainly not just about stretching. Tell us what it is.
Okay, so Pilates, the type of Pilates that I teach is it's my passion to help clients live without pain and to rebalance their body so that they can have functional movement, really good, healthy, functional movement, right? So I was very, very athletic when I was younger. And when I first started my Pilates training, I thought the same as you. Ooh, this is very gentle. This is just about stretching. And so once the training was done, obviously there's a lot of anatomy, physiology, and everything like that. So you learn a lot about how the body moves and how it should move correctly. Most of us are not really moving our bodies correctly. So
I
that
can
was an
relate.
eye-opener for me. Yeah, most of us don't move our bodies correctly. It's the aches and pains, right?
Right,
So
exactly.
I got clients in, I have rehab clients, and it's just to teach them. For me, it's to teach them to move well again. I don't teach a gym type of Pilates. There are many different types of Pilates, many, many different types. And for me, it boils down to that same thing. I want to help people feel better.
Mhm.
So I will teach them the correct muscles to move and how to move your legs if they're in pain. I give them stretches to do at home on a daily basis. And it's taught me a lot of what Pilates has taught me has been very interesting because I was quite shy in the beginning, so I've learned to talk a lot. Yeah, talk a lot, and it's taught me patience. I have so many different types of clients in. It's taught me not to judge anybody's stories in life, which is just the most amazing thing, and a lot of empathy. So I'll see a client come in, and I can feel overall what's they might be going through a really difficult time in their lives, and I'll have a client in, and all we'll do is talk for an hour.
Right.
So it's a little bit of everything. Then I've got my other classes and my other clients that have been coming to me for 10 years, and it's a little social group, and everybody gets on with everybody else. And so it's, for me, it's also created a type of community
Right.
which I think is really important for people to have a community base or a place to come where they feel safe. I had a new client come this last week, and she said to me, I just need to tell you that when I come for my class, I feel like it's a meditation for me, because for that hour, I'm not thinking about all my worries. I'm just concentrating on what my body is doing and how it's moving. So that was really interesting as well. So yes, you get the physical, you get the stronger classes, you get the client that wants to sweat as well. So it's a huge range of clients and different types of classes and using different types of equipment and things like that. So it's really interesting.
I get that part. But tell us literally, because I still think it's like stretching, but it's not. Tell us what it is.
All right. So you want the Pilates bit about it? It is strengthening your core. Okay. So I place a lot of importance on stretching in my classes, because I feel that, as you get older, everything starts to stiffen up. You get people who come from the gym and they're pretty stiff. So you need stretching. So I do stretches in every single class, every class. But the main thing for me is also to strengthen the core, the abdominals, the back muscles, to help you stand upright, because most people, we're mostly sort of hunched over.
Yeah.
So that's very
Right now,
important.
look at me.
Yeah. Shoulders back, so I'll pull them back. So for me, I will do a lot of abdominal work, because that integrates, that helps strengthen the lower back, where a lot of people have their injuries and where they're a little bit weaker. So I'll do a lot of abdominal work in my classes, strengthening the back, strengthening the upper back, so that you can stand upright, which instead of hunched forwards, and a lot of stretching. And also with Pilates, is you get taught how to put your bones back into the correct place. So your muscles then hold everything in the right place. So your spine learns to get strong. Your spine learns to get straighter. So I'll teach you, right, your shoulder joint is meant to be in a certain position. It's not meant to be pulled far back or hunched forward. And these are the muscles you need to strengthen to help hold the shoulder blades in that position. Your back muscles need to be strong to be able to hold your upper spine up. Your head needs to be in the correct position. So it's basically putting, for me, the way I teach is putting your body back into its correct place. Do you understand? You see what I mean?
It's like an alignment.
Putting it back into alignment, very Pilates word, yes, I use it all the time. Correct alignment.
Okay.
Yeah.
I find that that usually people who, in my work that I've come across, that people who are either hunched forward or hunched back or have low shoulders and things have other issues associated to it, and they're usually emotional issues associated to it. Do you find that if people who have emotional issues come to you for realignment in their physical state, that it changes the way they think and feel?
Yeah. They won't say that they have emotional issues, but they'll come in, and with the correction of the posture, I'll get a client that says, oh my goodness, I can breathe properly again. Or I had a client who said to me after like a month of sessions, she said to me, I feel more open to the world. I feel more
it's like a release for them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very much emotion is connected very, very much to the physical, what's happening in the physical body as well.
I often talk about this in my seminars that I do, is that when I talk about happiness, I talk about happiness as a choice. And when I say that to people, they always say, well, no, it isn't. I just want to be happy. And I go, well, smile. And they go, okay, smile. And I said, now try and be sad. And you can't, because your body physically is releasing the endorphins of a smile, and you have to be happy. You cannot be sad or angry or depressed, or when you physically have to smile, or you physically are smiling, it has to change. So there's a lot of depth in what you're saying, and I can see why it's important to align your mind with your spine. I'm starting to rhyme.
Nicely put.
But I love the fact that there's some place that you can come and do it right here in Zimbabwe, in Harare, and they can come and see you. How do people get hold of you?
Right. I'm not very social media orientated, but my studio is called Symmetry Pilates. It does, by Lianne Merdjan. It does have a Facebook page, and you can contact me. My number's there, my address is there. I can't remember if my email is there, but I do have an email address as well. So I'm on Facebook. I'm thinking about going on to Instagram, but not quite sure yet. But mostly Facebook. That's how you connect with me.
Excellent, Lianne. Thank you so much for today, and thank you so much for being part of the series. We will actually have a page up on our website where people will be able to come and reach you too. So that will be another place that they will be able to come and see you and talk to you and get some feedback. And hopefully they'll be booking up with you to align their spines with the divine. How does that sound?
Nice.
Fantastic, Lianne.